Today we're going to look at one of the buff tanks Type 5 heavy guys, and I was very pleasantly surprised what we were able to do in this vehicle after it was buffed. Wargaming did, by the way, nice shot. I was aiming at the lower plate and it actually hit the driver's edge, which I take it guys, standard round. That was a standard round penetration as well, very lucky shot over here. But I was very pleasantly surprised what kind of battles I was able to get. So before I went into the battle, I was checking what they did to the armor. I was, you know, trying to figure out which angle could be the best to give to my enemies to get the most bounces, and you are going to see me using this angle right over here. And while slapping E100 into the lower plate, trying to hit E100 into the lower plate, but did not manage to hit that. But don't worry, we are going to get some more over here. And this thing is, yeah, it is bouncing way more than it used to. Of course, in very close range versus high heat penetration, DPM tanks like E5 or T803, or, you know, anything that has, let's say, 340 plus millimeters of heat penetration. Yes, it is quite tough. I was aiming at the weak spot over there. But from medium to long range and versus many calibers, many guns, even in close range, they struggled quite a lot, guys. They were not ready. I guess this might also be that this is the second day update is live on the EU server. They were not ready to see Type 5 fighting back this hard, guys. So Type 5 received a huge array of changes actually. Mainly to the armor, the key thing over here also to the armor. The frontal hull armor was increased from 270 up to 310, so extra 40 millimeters of armor, and same goes to the turret from 280 up to 315, so extra 35 millimeters of armor. Turret rear armor, however, was nerfed from 200 down to 170, but you know, this doesn't matter in most cases. So this is what they did to the armor, and let's pause over here for a second and let me show you what that actually means, guys. So this is Type 5 Heavy in update 129.1, and this is what they did to it, guys, versus exactly the same 290mm AP round over here. Yes, the alpha damage is different, but the penetration is the same. You know, this is the old premium round, this is the new guns, Type 5's guns premium round, and they actually did buff the entire frontal plates over here from 270, as they said, up to 310, and same with this over here from 270 up to 310, and the turret face is 315 now. So you have a couple so-called weak spots in the front, which, you know, tier 8s are going to struggle very much, and many standard rounds are going to struggle very much as well. You can see those viewports hatches in the front, and of course the commander hatch as well. And I believe the commander hatch, after people learn how good the Type 5 frontal armor can be now, this will be sniped way more often for better penetrations. And I was, you know, looking, as I said, trying to figure out what is the best angle to give to the enemies, and I guess like this is the best angle to give, because you don't want to turn too much. You're going to make your shoulders weaker over here, so under angle like this, maybe you can see that they need to back quite some penetration to go through your overall hull over here, and you can't make that too weak as well, because the more you turn, you're going to reveal this weak spot, and then they simply need to aim at that. But you know, if you move back and forth, if you wiggle a little bit, you're going to or at least try to make it as hard as possible for them to hit as well. And this armor actually quite works, especially versus itself, guys, versus itself premium 290 penetration. I went into it thinking, yeah, versus high penetration rounds, I'm going to be kind of XP and damage pinata still, but it turns out that it is actually not going to be that simple for the enemies, guys. And by the way, I was aiming at the engine deck over here and was lucky enough to connect my second try. KR was definitely not expecting that. I do not want to go for the commander headshot, because that means I would need to reveal too much of my armor over here and my weak spots over here while trying to aim at Type 5's weak spot. The KR backs up just in time and I nailed that shot into the commander hatch. Enemies making quite an ugly bush over here. Boom, that was the driver hatch. You have to know it. And what I found out actually was if Type 5s are using some weird camos, some make it hard to even see where the, not the commander, but the driver hatch is. So maybe you can mess around with some camos or some decals to hide it for, you know, people who want to take a snapshot into your driver hatch and can't wait until the aim kicks in and the armor flashlight kicks in as well. There is D803 pushing in, which is definitely a big problem. And look at this shot, guys. Ay. That was a little bit unlucky, honestly. That was a little bit unlucky. I'm trying to help the S-Conk over here, blocking the shots, blocking the incoming damage from 183. I understand that I make it harder for the S-Conk to deal damage as well, but those Type 5s and the D803, they are all trying to take out the S-Conk at the same time, so I'm perfectly fine trying to eat some shells to keep my DPM tank alive. I was over here waiting for the aim in, and you know, this is what I was talking about. When we have a high DPM tank close to us, they can easily see our commander hatch. Now I am basically a one-shot. I'm just trying to survive to take a couple more shots over here, but you know, eventually we are going down with the S-Conk. We have some support. 183 is behind us, another Type 5 is behind us, but you know, just too many enemies and they are too close over here. We are going down, but you know, you can see that this Type 5 went for the commander hatch as well. Let's just say this is the easiest way to deal with it now from close range. More reliable. It's a solid size as well. But 5,692 damage done, over 6,000 damage blocked, and our team managed to actually win it. So the battle you just saw was my actual very first battle with the buff Type 5 Heavy. After I looked at the armor profile, how can I angle it, how can I wiggle a little bit with it, and where can I shoot it myself when I see Type 5s, because those tanks are quite often on the battlefield right now. This is my second battle, the very next battle after the previous one. And I already have pre-marked this vehicle, so I have basic standard equipment unit on it, no hardening or no rammer directive either. But if I would be marking it, or when I was marking it, I think I was using bounty, rammer, bounty, hardening, and experimental turbo, if I remember correctly. Bond turbo can work as well after they buffed this gun, what I'm going to talk about right now as well. By the way, this battle is going to be funny. Me and this Type 5, we are going to be the best friends, guys. Like, this is going to be quite comical what is about to happen towards the end of this battle. So we are going in with the Premium AP. The enemy Type 5 is also slapping us with Premium AP that has 290 penetration. Now, we talked about the armor. Now let's talk about the gun, what they did. This has 15 centimeter gun. It had the 14 centimeter and it had the Turb gun, previous version of Type 5. Now they removed the 14 centimeter and they basically turned the 15 centimeter gun into the main one with 2 AP rounds and 1 high explosive round. That hits very hard with 130 penetration. I'm going to get 1 HE pen in this match as well. Spoiler alert. And what they did to the gun was they lowered the reload time from 20 seconds down to 18.7. They lowered the dispersion from 0.47 down to 0.40. Aim time from 2.9 seconds down to 2.7 seconds. Dispersion on turret traverse buffed by 36%. They also added extra 10 shells, which I would say is doing nothing for this tank because your reload time is very long. If you run out of 40 shells, you better have a banger of a battle to show us, guys. If you're ever going to spend 40 ammunition, I want to see that replay. Okay, don't spam it and send it to me now, but in actual battles, guys. They also did some switcheroos with the ammunition. This old gun had 2 high explosive rounds. One was 190 pen, I would like to say. And it had 1 AP round, so now it has 2 APs, standard, premium, and high explosive. And this high explosive slaps. It slaps 1100 alpha with 130 penetration. So this is what they did to the gun, guys. And now we're getting to the quite an interesting position in this battle. We are going to be very sneaky, as you can see. This IS-7 is pushing in. I said to the mouse that pull back, but you know, this guy actually decided to push forward. We need to pull back. We are very heavily outnumbered over here. I do not want to be where that sorry, not type, but boom, that was a sneaky shot. Where that mouse is, because it would be very easy to get flanked. By 277, by I7, by S-Conk, maybe E100 does something, maybe Type 5 Heavy. So I decided to pull back to avoid getting flanked and to protect mouse from getting flanked at the same time. Using all the cover over here we have, trying to hide the commander hatch, trying to hide the driver hatches, and it works out quite nicely. IS-7 is coming in once again, as I said, wiggle, wiggle. You know, you are not the fastest if you have better turbos, if you have all the skills, you can wiggle a little bit faster, right? But it's hard from close range. But as you can see, it still helps. Previously, this IS-7 was able to slap me 2 times in a row, but now the guy is kind of panicking. 277, boom, gets picked up. I'm going to make sure I'm able to hit the lower plate, and boom, IS-7 has been destroyed. Solid 5,400 damage done, 5,500 pounced as well, with 655 assistance. And now I decided to push in. We have the middle under control, but the hit point difference is actually not that big. They still have 3 very high alpha tanks alive, actually. There is the FE425, 183, Jagdpanzer E100 as well, and exactly the same happened over here, guys. Like in the last battle, aiming at the side, and it just goes left enough to hit the frontal armor, what of course I cannot penetrate. And now, this is a funny thing, guys. So we looked, where are the weak spots? Commander hatch is the easiest weak spot, and then we have those 2 hatches to hit as well. But I can't really angle, or I can't really push in. I do not want to back up. I do not want to take a shot. Like, if I take a shot, I know I can take this Jagdpanzer E100 out, but I do not want to lose 1,000 damage doing it. So what I'm trying to do over here is I'm trying to keep this guy spotted, and hopefully someone is going to help me out over here. And I was thinking about going for the flank, but then nope. Pinging the map, FE425 was spotted over there. 183 maybe as well, repositioning. So I am hiding my driver hatch, my commander hatch on the left side, and trying to give the driver hatches as much of an angle as I think is good without making my shoulder weak. But 290 penetration over here is going to be 50-50, guys. So from this range I have 289 penetration, and if I saw correctly, this guy had 6 or 3 more effective armor. So once again, 289 versus 290, and I'm not able to roll. You need to high roll a little bit with your penetration, while this guy can't pen me either. So now we're just 2 Type 5s, both with premium AP rounds, not being able to penetrate each other, because this guy is also hiding the commander hatch quite nicely. And we're just trading bounces over here. Type 5 thinking about coming in. I do not want to go too deep. There still could be a problem getting slapped by FVs, for example. Looking what Minotauro is doing, going inside. Okay, we got that. Nice, 706. And now I need a bit of a high roll from a 700 alpha tank. I need a bit of a high roll. Going to aim at the commander hatch, of course. Please, high roll, high roll, high roll. And thank you, artillery. Fixing that, 684. No high roll. And quickly trying to angle myself as well. We are up to 9,700 damage bounced. And there is enemy artillery. So I'm pulling back, taking it chill, tranquilo, tranquilo. I'm telling to myself, because we can actually still lose this battle, believe it or not, but we can actually still lose this battle. Now this Type 5 does not know. Aye, that is FE, and I'm going for the quick panic HE shot into the side. But side has plates, and I did legit 0 damage over there. I did legit 0 damage over there. And now Type 5 started to penetrate me, so now I'm like in quite a problem over here. I'm going with the high explosive over here, and of course, like with the commander headshot, I leave that guy on low HP, 3 hit points left. I honestly really thought that I'm able to do 80 or 90 damage from a 1100 alpha high explosive. Yes, I did hit the armored area over there, but I still thought that this could be or should be enough. My bad. Should have shot either the side turret or the upper deck over there on the armor. You know, where the turret is mounted, that deck right there. Well, I said it is going to be a comedy show with that guy, and hopefully you are not disappointed. Hello, Effie! How nicely I have a little high explosive round loaded over here, and artillery entered the party. I was fully ready to die over here, by the way. I was fully ready to go in to make sure that I'm going to hit my high explosive shot, dealing 1,021 damage, 1,100 on average, and I was ready to go down, guys. But I just wanted to make sure I'm going to hit that shot. 7,897 damage done, over 10,000 damage blocked, and 1,592 damage to my assistants. Patchet Arty taking the shot from the corner, actually repositioned, and the battle is over. Yeah, you can see, like, it's an actual animal. And I got to be honest with you guys. When I was 3-marking this tank, the old version of Type 5, I think I did it not like too long time ago, actually, a couple months ago. So I have quite fresh memories. I don't know, maybe I'm weird, but I did not hate the tank. I honestly did not hate the tank, even when it was old, in its own form, in its own version, guys. I didn't hate it. Yes, it was many times quite a frustrating XP damage pinata, but didn't hate it, and now I like it even more. I might be weird. We have Ace Tanker, we have High Caliber, Steel Wall, 125,000 credits profit, close to 8,000 damage, 2 kills, 10.3k blocked, close to 1.6k damage to our assistants. We definitely did help our team to win this battle, holding many heavies back. I was being fired premium rounds at, I was being fired standard rounds at. It was holding its ground. The biggest hits came actually from Effie and from Arty. I think so. And the IS-7 slapped me a couple times as well. That was a bit painful. So yeah, those were my 2 battles with the buffed Type 5 Heavy. I'm very positive when I say, or I'm quite sure when I say that this definitely, if I would keep playing, it definitely would see battles where I would be a complete XP pinata versus close range, high heat, high DPM tanks like that. You know, if you get surrounded as well, if they're close, holding good corners, your DPM can't keep up with them. But I don't know why. I enjoyed it before the buffs. I didn't hate it before the buffs, and now I enjoy it quite a bit more. If you don't like slow tanks, it definitely is not for you. But if you already have this tank in your garage collecting dust, take it out for a spin, and please let me know what do you think about it yourself. I thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I will catch you next time. Hit the like, hit the dislike, hit the comment. Let me know what you think about this, and I will see you very soon. Adios.